Welcome to episode 12 of
Let's
Chip
do
Off the
12
Old
and
Black.
0. Tell about the 12 and 0. Chip off the old black 12 and 0.
12 and 0, 12 and 0. How's it going, bud?
Going pretty good, Dad. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. When you're my age, you wake up, if your name's not in the obituaries, it's a good day. So,
That's
uh,
right. For me,
so
if I wake up and I'm still blind, it's a good day.
it's a
Uh,
good. Uh-oh.
hey, no, I got good news. This is a momentous occasion on Chip Off the Old Black. We have officially burned down the Jim Socks candle. It's gone.
So what
So
does
we
this one
have a
smell
new
like?
one. We have a new one. This is smoky vanilla.
Smoky vanilla. Okay.
Smoky vanilla.
Okay. Okay. So
We
how's
burned
your week?
we burned down the Jim Socks candle. It's had it.
So how's your week been going? You got the coffee or the tea going there, and I notice you're back in the basement. So how's your week been?
Well, I am back in the basement. You will notice there's a bit of an echo because while I am back in the basement, none of my crap is. Uh, because I am too scared. I am too scared to move all my stuff back into the basement because it's been such a stormy month in Kansas City. So I am back in the basement. The basement is dry in an academic sense, but I'm too nervous to move stuff back in. So I'm just kind of waiting a little while to see when this rain will stop. Um, Other than that, week's been good. It's been it's been a very busy week. Um, my work has one of our two big annual fundraisers is coming up very soon. So we've been doing a lot of preparation for that. I've been leading a lot of tours, and so it's been a very busy week, but it's been good. How's your week been?
You know what? It's been pretty good. We went camping. I may have mentioned in last week's episode we were going camping over the weekend, and we did. We went to well, it's kind of an interesting story. We decided to, and I think you got us on the phone at an inopportune
Yeah,
time, but
I called you. I called you Friday night, and you were in an RV park that sounded like something out of Breaking Bad.
yeah,
That
it's
people
like
were about
I
to put
told you
meth
that
there.
night. If the Bates Motel was an RV park, this would be it. Uh, we had never been there. I won't mention them by name. They're down in Seward. Well, let's put it that way. So we drive down to Seward. I was really excited. We hadn't been there. It's going to be a new experience. The website pictures looked fabulous. We pull in there, and I can see it written all over your mother's face that she might not even get out of the truck. I mean, uh, so we pull in there, we kind of drive around a little bit and get the rig turned around, headed back out. And I stopped for a minute and I picked my phone up. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm calling Renfro's." One of our favorite places, run by a guy named Gary. He owns it. It's called Renfro's RV Campground. It's a little bit out of Seward. I don't know, maybe 15 miles, 16 miles. Uh, but I said, I'm calling to see if he has anything. And he did. We showed up, had all of our generators and everything prepared for dry camping, and showed up. And oh, it was just too bad. We had electric and water. Uh, yeah, it was nice not not having to mess with the generator. We had a great time. Uh, just a couple of lazy days. We went Friday, stayed Friday night, and Saturday and Sunday, and headed back Monday. And
I I knew something was up because I called Friday night to talk to mom and check on y'all and see how y'all were doing. And I'm talking to mom, and I could tell that she was in the front seat of the car, and you weren't in there. So I was talking to her for a few minutes, and then I heard you get in the car, and you said you need to call him back later. We have a situation.
we have a situation. We have got to get out of here. I mean, this
And
is the
then
type of place where your wheels get rotated while you're driving your car. So I was just,
did I hear correctly? Did I hear correctly? You said that while you and mom were sitting there, some lady just took her shirt off right in
yeah,
front of the truck.
yeah. This was kind of a fisher person's place. Nothing against fisher person. I fish myself. but it was a little casual would be an understatement. And yeah, we were on the phone with you, trying to get off the phone with you so I could call Gary at Renfro's. And yeah, this gal just walked right in front of the truck and just took her top off, took her shirt off because it was dirty. She wasn't, I mean, she had her bra on, but she didn't care who was watching. Your mother's like, I can't believe this. So we got out of there pretty much as fast as we could without running over anybody, and got to Renfro's. Probably one of the highlights of the weekend. We went to a place called Skilak Lake Road. It is, as you may guess, it's on Skilak Lake, which is down by the Kenai River and the Russian River. And we went down Skilak Lake Road because in all, we've lived here 10 years, and we've seen more bears on Skilak Lake Road than we've seen anywhere else. And this weekend did not disappoint. We ran across, and I'm gonna attempt. In fact, if I do it right, it should be playing right now. We ran across a mama bear and a couple of cubs, right at the roadside,
Oh,
chomping
that's
on some
cool.
grass. And hopefully that video's playing right now and everybody can enjoy it. But yeah, we had a great time. Got back and got back to work. Like you, I've been covered up with photo
Now
shoots.
you didn't get the mama bear and the cubs. I'm sure the video will show you didn't get too close. You weren't like Leo DiCaprio in The Revenant or anything, right?
Now he got a little too close. No, and the strange thing is, this time of year anyway, for the most part, when you see them, they're right up at the road. That's where all the tender, sweet grass is growing, I guess. That's why they're up by the road. And actually, I had a 150 to 600 millimeter lens on, big wildlife lens, and I had too much lens. The bears were probably 10 feet away from us, 10 or 12 feet. Now, when they walked a little further down the road and got maybe 25, 30 feet away from us, I did open my door and I got part of my body out, but my right leg and right butt cheek stayed in the truck in case I had to make a quick escape. But
I
anyway,
think I think it is I think it's more likely I think it's less likely that you are like Leo DiCaprio from The Revenant and more likely that you'd be like John Candy from The Great Outdoors.
they'd be right on the hood of the car. Here's a zag nut. Here's a zag nut. Yeah, we've uh, we've been around them enough to know. And it's funny. Everybody thinks, "Oh, it'd just be so cute. I want to get out of the car and get as close as I can." Until you get there and you realize, there's no fence between you and them. Uh, all of a sudden, it's kind of sobering how quickly you could become a statistic. So people are very safe. Typically, there are bear attacks here, and it's not necessarily because somebody is careless. They've just when you get attacked is when you surprise them. If you I went on a guided fishing trip with our buddy Matt uh, before we even moved up here. He took me on this guided fishing trip, and we're walking through the woods to go down to the creek, and the guide is whistling and singing, and I thought, man, this this is a happy guy. And I told Matt, this guy's a happy guy that's whistling and singing. Matt said, yeah, that ain't why he's whistling and singing. He wants to make sure and let the bears know we're around. We don't want to surprise any of them because that's when you could be seriously killed if you go
You get
surprising any of
seriously killed.
them. Okay, enough of that. Moving on, and you and I just visited in our pregame a little bit about the dadgummit blowout segment, and it's a weird week, isn't it?
It is a weird week. I'm at a complete loss. I mean, uh, the Royals have not provided a dadgummit blowout. Now, don't misunderstand me. That doesn't mean they haven't managed to lose. They've lost plenty. They just haven't lost in any way that is newsworthy and noteworthy for me to talk about. And the dadgummit blowout. Um, but just a couple real quick sports notes. Real quick, I'm well aware that we talk about too much sports in
Too
our
much
sports
sports
show.
on this sports show.
Yeah, there's too much sports in this sports show, so this will be real quick. NBA playoffs, or excuse me, rather NBA finals is going on right now between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. The New York Knicks took games 1 and 2. Then the series moved to Madison Square Garden, where the Spurs actually took game three. I believe that was Monday night. And then game four is actually going on right now between the Knicks and Spurs at MSG. So it'll probably be over or close to over by the time we're done recording this. So we'll have an update about that next week. Also, in the world of college sports, the Oklahoma Sooners baseball team is in Lincoln, Nebraska at the College World Series, where they will be facing off against Alabama. And then we'll see who wins those rounds and who's going to play in the final round of the College World Series. But
Okay, now
Oklahoma,
not to correct you, and I may be wrong. Is it Lincoln or Omaha?
you know what? Thank you for the correction. It is Omaha. It is Omaha. It's Omaha, Nebraska. That is where the Oklahoma Sooners men's baseball team is playing against Alabama, and I think the first game of that series is Friday night.
Well, good for them. That was that's a I think you would call that an upset that the Oklahoma men's baseball team that typically isn't great. They're not bad, they're just typically not great. Makes the College World Series while the women's softball team that's been the Alabama, if you want to call it, of women's softball, college softball, they've just been dominant. After 11 straight appearances, they did not go this year. So
Wow.
it's funny, 11 straight
Okay.
appearances, they didn't go. There's the few softball fans are starting to, make noises about getting rid of the coach. Really? You went 11 of 12 years and it's time to get rid of the coach. Okay. I get it. I
All
get
right.
it.
That's
So no
that's
dadgummit
all I got.
blowouts.
That's all I got. Sorry I interrupted the show with that sports. That's all the
Yeah.
sports I've got.
Yes, we apologize for interrupting the sports show with some sports. Okay, moving right along, and I know exactly what your story is for the Cyclops segment. We'll move into the Cyclops segment, and you can take it away. It's a long one, so give them the Reader's Digest version.
This is a long story. I'll try to shorten it. And once again, if Dad has accomplished what he's setting out to accomplish, this will be the first ever on Chip Off the Old Black where there is video footage of the Cyclops segment because this happened just this past Sunday. So my mother is visiting this weekend to visit me and my children, and I'm very excited. We're all very excited to have Mom in the house. So I was cleaning and getting the house ready for her on Sunday afternoon.
Your
The
semi-annual cleaning when she's going to come.
Yes, my semi-annual cleaning I was doing for Mom to be here, and the light fixture in my master bathroom, in my shower specifically, has been flickering like a strobe light for maybe 2 or 3 months now. I do not care. It freaks the kids out a little bit. I don't particularly care, so I just let it flicker. But I didn't think I know my mother, and I know that she would not want to take a shower for several nights because I'm going to give her my bedroom and my bathroom. I know she would not want to take a shower for several nights with a flickering shower bulb that looks like the Bates Motel in there, like she's fixing to be attacked by a serial killer in there. So I was like, well, I need to get this fixed. So I got a dining room chair because I do not possess a step ladder yet. There
Yeah.
is one en route currently to my house, but I got on a dining room chair and I reached up to this light fixture
Can
and
light.
could not find a way. What?
It's a can light.
It is a recessed canned light. I had never heard of such a thing and did not know what that was. I thought it was just like any other light fixture where I could unscrew 3 or 4 screws, access the light bulb, take the light bulb out, and replace it, and that'd be it. I could not find a way to get into this fixture. Well, uh, this light was installed in this house. I had that light installed in that shower when I moved into this house, and I know for a fact that it was installed through the attic. And the crawl space to get into my attic is located in the master bedroom closet, which is right next to the master bathroom. So I thought, well, I'm just going to get up in the attic and see if I can change the light bulb from the attic. So I could not crawl up in the crawl space because I am sans stepladder. So I hauled my daughter's bookshelf into the closet from her bedroom, and then I took the aforementioned dining room chair and put it up against the bookshelf, and I stepped up on the dining room chair, and I crawled up onto the bookshelf, and I hoisted myself up into the attic, and I wandered around in the attic, very careful to step on the beams for about 20 or 30 minutes, just sweating my butt off. Sweat pouring into my eye. Not that that made any difference. Um, Finally, I found. Oh, and I forgot to add one thing. I also turned my Alexa on in my shower so that I could hear where the music was, so that I knew where my shower was from up in the attic. So I finally found where the light fixture must be, and there was absolutely no way to access the bulb from that fixture or from that area. So I got down from the attic, got dad on a video call, and was messing around with the fixture from inside the shower forever. I finally got it taken apart, got all the screws unscrewed. The fixture's hanging down by two or three wires in the middle of the shower. My mother is watching like she's about to watch her only son be electrocuted to death. I finally get everything unscrewed, and there is no light bulb in there.
No light bulb.
There is just there's no light bulb. There is just this panel, this LED panel. There is no bulb. So to finally wrap up this story, Dad helped me look up what kind of fixture it was, ordered a new fixture offline, and by this point, I'm a complete expert on canned recessed light fixtures. So the part came the very next day. I changed it out in about 5 minutes, and now it is completely done. It is not flickering anymore. It's ready for mom to use.
You know what? Couple things. First, I'll clarify. Unfortunately, the person that Cameron had to call to ask for advice was me. And I usually need help changing a light bulb. I'm not one of those guys with skills. I have no skills.
I
Uh,
have no skills.
and I had never heard of this, but when he pulled it down and I saw the LED panel, I did some research, and that is a very common can light to put in a wet area. And so I helped Cameron find the part. And once the part arrived, of course, Amazon overnight, once the part arrived, I think what it took you like 2 or 3 minutes to fix it,
It
right?
didn't take long at all. It
Yeah.
didn't take it was super easy. It's one of those things. Once you know how to do it, it's the easiest thing in the world, and you don't have to go up in your attic to do it.
Well,
Um,
and it's a testament.
you
And that's what your mother and I were talking to each other about after we got off the phone with you. It's a testament to Cameron when he puts his mind to doing something, he's going to do it. It would have been easy for a sighted person to give up, let alone a person that didn't have any sight. But anyway,
you're real quick. Your one of your comments while I was doing it cracked me up. At one point, I had the light fixture hanging down. All these wires are exposed. And it's hanging down in the middle of the shower. And I had dad on the video call, and dad said, "All right, show me the fixture. Show me what you're dealing with." So I point the camera up at the light fixture, and dad goes, "Oh no, that's bad."
that's bad. The whole thing's hanging down. And I think I told you I wouldn't recommend showering in there until you get that thing
I did
fixed.
not.
But hey, got it fixed. And as a nice byproduct, he now has a step ladder on its way there, so you don't have to, stack up. When you were telling me how you were getting into the crawl space, I kind of started thinking of Home Alone. Remember when Daniel Stern was down the basement and he had to stack all the stuff in the basement up so he could climb up and get
That
back? Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty much what I did. I climbed up on the dining room chair, then I climbed up onto my daughter's bookshelf, which was wobbly. That's pretty much what happened. But I do want to add this. All humor aside, and it was very funny. Uh, the next day at work, I gave a speech to some young visually impaired and blind students that we are working with. They're about 17, 18 years old, and I told them this story about the light fixture, and I said, it sounds crazy that I did all that just to change a light bulb, but when you are visually impaired or blind, I highly recommend that you always take joy and find success in the small victories. And something like changing, actually, I'm not sure this was a small victory. This was at least a medium-sized victory.
It was a
Uh,
medium-sized victory.
but something like changing a recessed canned light fixture in a shower stall is not something that is usually taught to blind people.
No.
So I felt accomplished and I felt pretty good about figuring it out. And now it is something I know how to do. So when that light fixture goes out again, I will know just how to take care of it. And I know that I don't need to go up in the attic to do it.
Okay. Okay. Yes, it was an awesome accomplishment. Well done, you. And you still managed to get it done even with me helping you. That's even more of a handicap than being blind, is having me help you with home repair. That's not a good thing. Okay, my Cyclops story. I kind of thought of two or three, which is unusual for me. As you know, I have trouble remembering any of them, but I kind of thought of two or three. The first one I thought about, I'm not going to tell because I usually can't tell it without crying. I made the mistake of telling it at a communion meditation one morning at church and just completely lost it. But anyway, uh, another one that really stuck out in my mind, and sorry, Cameron, you won't remember this. You were tiny, kind of like a baby.
I know.
Uh, I asked his mother just a little while ago about how old was he when this happened, and I'm going to say maybe a month. Uh, we took Cameron over to see his grandparents, my parents, and they had never seen him with his eyes open. It hurt him too bad to open his eyes. His eyes were so sensitive to light, ironically, because he had so much going on in there. And while his mother and I, neither one could remember what procedure, we know that he didn't have any corneal transplants till probably 2 or 3 months old, but they did some procedure to ease the glaucoma pressure in his eyes. And we took him over to, we went over to visit my parents, and I said, "Hey, I want to show you something." And we kind of laid him down on the back of their couch, and I said, "Turn the lights way down low." And they turned the lights way down low, and he slowly just kind of opened his eyes. Uh, First just a little bit, and then they were wide open. He looked like a different person. We hadn't really seen him with his eyes open, and of course, everybody in the room was bawling, uh, including my dad, and he didn't really ever cry at anything. But I don't know why that popped into my mind, but it did.
And then, are you sure Grandom wasn't bawling because he was still married to your mom?
Uh, that could have been it. It could have been a combination. Could have been a combination of factors, really. So anyway, that is my Cyclops story. Okay, moving along. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at notes. We've got quite a bit to cover tonight. So while we don't use a script, which is blatantly obvious, we do use notes, or I do use notes. Cameron, fortunately, doesn't have to use notes. Uh, Moving on, we are going to talk really quick because what, Cameron? We don't want too much sports in this sports show.
No. No, there's already too much sports in the sports show already, so we're gonna be brief.
There's already too much sports. Okay. A couple weeks ago, we introduced a new segment called No Games, Just Sports, where we discuss whether an activity is a sport or a game. We discussed baseball a couple weeks ago. Then we didn't talk about any others last week because we had some people said there was too much sports on our sports show. So
We abolished it.
we kind of booted that to the curb. But we're gonna throw one out. I promise it's gonna be quick. This is one of the easier ones, frankly. Is it a game or a sport? Cameron, golf. Okay. Do you remember the criteria
Uh,
for something to be a sport?
uh, Yes, I believe that I do. You can't be able to do it more than once a day. Uh, you need to be in some form of physical shape. There needs to be a reasonable threat of injury, and you need to have a very particular set of skills.
That's right. Those are the four criteria. Let's apply them to golf. Okay.
Oh, this will
Golf,
be this will be easy. Golf
yes.
meets none of them.
Golf meets, well, no, the last one, golf meets. To play it well, golf, and again, I know we're going to piss off a lot
Okay.
of fat old guys in yellow pants, but golf is not a sport. It's just not a sport. I
No,
played for years. At one point, I was like a 4 or 5 handicap. I was really good, but it's not a sport. I mean, back when, even with professional golf, back when years and years and years ago, when they have professional golf tournaments, instead of playing 4 rounds on 4 different days like they do now, they played 2 rounds on one day and 2 rounds the next day. So clearly, you can play more than once in a day. Uh, any chance of
it
serious injury? Not unless you ricochet it off the ball washer and it hits you in the head, or not unless you get run over by a golf cart. There's no risk of injury. Do you have to be in top physical condition to play? Let's just talk about playing at a high level, not recreationally. Uh, it's a hugely popular sport in this country because most anybody can play it, from a small child to an old man like me, uh, and they enjoy it. But we're talking about the highest level, professional golfers. You have to be in a great physical condition. John Daly, that's all I need to say. John Daly, and he's a professional golfer. There's a lot of them. Fuzzy Zeller, who used to play, was not in a great physical condition. Lee Trevino, one of the most famous ones ever, not in good physical condition. So suffice to say, I love golf. I play it. Cameron does not play it. I actually have taken Cameron out to a driving range and helped him hit balls, and he was able to hit balls at the driving range.
I did, and you know what? That is, I remember that because I thought it was really cool what you did, and I still tell this story about you were teaching me how to hold a golf club at the driving range, and you were trying to teach me how to position my fingers, and I wasn't really getting it. And you took your car key and you put a big scratch down the handle, down the grip of your golf club,
I remember that.
a scratch that I could feel. I can only surmise that you must not have liked that club
Well,
uh,
those are the clubs that
for
I
you to do
use.
that. But you you put this long, rough scratch that I was able to feel, and I knew that was where I was supposed to put my fingers. So I did. I enjoyed hitting balls with you on the driving range. I would do that again with you. I enjoyed playing mini golf, and we would go as a family. But yeah, golf is not a sport. To
Not a
add
sport.
a fifth criteria, if you can play it hammered drunk, it's not a sport.
Or if you can hit golf balls blind, I don't know. I don't know. But it is not a sport. I like it. I've always liked playing golf. I don't really watch it anymore. I used to watch all the major championships. I don't really watch it anymore. Uh, but not a sport. Not a sport at all. So that is the end of the no games, just sports section. Hopefully that was a minimal enough amount of sports to please our viewers. We don't want to have too much sports on our sports show, Cameron.
Too much sports in our sports show.
Okay, so last week we didn't do the no games just sports. We uh we substituted a different segment in. We really didn't intend it to be a segment, did we, Cameron? It was just something we started to discuss. It was amazing how popular
It
sports
it took
movies,
off.
and it took
The
off.
segment,
We've
I
had
mean, it took off.
all sorts of comments how popular sports movies are for people, even for people that hate sports, like Cameron's mother does not like sports, but loves sports movies. So along those lines, Cameron and I, if you know us, if you don't, this is something you'll learn about us. Cameron and I watch a lot of movies, and we watched a lot of a lot of movies together. Uh, we in our just general conversation, we quote movies all the time, just talking to each other.
We could
So
have whole conversations just made up of movie quotes.
So, keeping in line with the theme from last week, we're going to change it up a little bit, though. We're going to throw some movie quotes out. Uh, we're not going to say the movie, we're not going to say the character. We're just going to throw some movie quotes out. And the first person, the first people that can enter in the comments what movie it's from and what character said the quote, you're going to get a big shout out on next week's episode. We can see who makes the first comments, and you're going to get a big shout out. All you have to do is write the quote and tell us what movie it's from and who said it. Does that sound good, Cameron?
Sounds good. Dad has made us narrow it down to three,
Well,
which I have been
for
struggling with.
tonight,
I have been struggling with, but I think I think I've got my three for tonight.
okay. Remember, don't say the movie name or the character, just the quote. So you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Are we gonna do? Am I doing all three of mine? Or are we gonna take turns?
No, we'll take turns. You do one, then I'll do one.
Okay. Okay. I will say this first one. I will not say characters or nothing like that. Obviously, this first one is dedicated to my mother. Here we go. Well, Nuke is upset because his dad's here and he's nervous and his eyelids are all jammed up. And Jorge is upset because his girlfriend put a curse on his bat and he needs the head of a live. Is it a live chick? He needs the head of a live chicken to take the curse off. And none of us know what to get Tony and Millie for their wedding. We're dealing with a lot of shit here.
Okay. We need somebody to enter the movie that's from and what character said it. You can say the character's name if you remember it or the actor, whichever one. Okay.
That'll work.
Mine is much shorter. You'd bury yourself
Yep.
alive just to prove you could use a shovel. Cameron, do you know that one?
Actually, I don't think I do know that one.
Okay. You'd bury yourself alive just to prove you could use a shovel. Okay. You're up.
Mine, of course, is longer. All of mine are speeches.
Okay.
Mine is longer. Here we go. Hold on. I have to do a voice for this one.
Yes, would it be possible to speak to Captain Encino? Yes, Captain Encino. I've noticed that when you are arresting or open up a can of whoop ass, as you like to say, that you are sweating quite profusely. I was wondering if you would have the need of an experience of a water boy.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Again, enter in the comments. What movie's that from? What character said the line? Mine's much shorter. You'll appreciate this one, Cameron. Hey, man, you want to come over and play G.I. Joes? Okay, you're up for your third one.
Are you ready for mine?
I'm ready for your third one.
If you got dads, you'll get my third one. Hey, man, you need to cross over the anger bridge. Come back over to the friendship shore.
Awesome. Okay, that's your third one.
Yep.
I've got one more left. Cameron, you'll like this one too. Necessary? Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? No, but I do it because it's sterile and I like the taste.
You did four.
Was that four? No, that was just three.
You did four. I get to do another one.
Okay. Okay. Oh, by the way, no, for those of you playing at home, no Googling to find out the answer. You have to know it.
No,
Go ahead.
cheating
Cam.
is for cheaters.
Yeah, Googling's for cheaters. Go ahead, Cam.
Well, now I have to think of a fourth one on the spot. You know what? You told me I can't use a different movie. I'm going to. I'm breaking the rules already.
Okay.
Your shower shoes have fungus on them. You're never gonna make it in the bigs with fungus on your shower shoes. If you get up to the bigs and you win 20 games in the show, you can let the fungus grow back on your shower shoes and the press will think you're colorful. Until then, however, it means you're a slob.
Okay, excellent. There's plenty of movie quotes for everybody that wants to play. Be the first ones to answer, and you're going to get some shout outs. Okay, Cambo, time to move into our last segment, the I don't want to talk about it segment. And
We actually
believe it
have
or not,
questions.
we have some questions.
So we do want to talk about it.
So we do want to talk about it. And we tasked people last week that said there's too much sports in your sports show. Okay. If you don't like us talking about sports, ask us some questions. So here we go. I've got a couple of them, Cameron. You've got one. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. That's fine.
I'll do my first one, and then you can do yours, and then I'll do the last one. Okay. Ashley has asked, and this is a great question. And it's actually not about you, believe it or not.
I know, I'm offended.
Ashley has asked, Todd, what is your favorite side of photography? My favorite genre of photography. And that's kind of a tough one to answer. I've already shared that my least favorite is the one that I practice the most, and that's real estate photography. I would have to say probably wildlife. I've never been a hunter. We're not going to clean and eat what we kill. I have been a fisherman for a long time, but with fishing, there is the rare occurrence where I accidentally kill a fish, but for the most part, you can catch them and release them. In hunting, there's no catching and releasing. When you catch them, they're gone. So I've never been a hunter, but I love hunting for wildlife with my camera lens. So that is probably my favorite genre of photography is wildlife photography. So thank you again, Ashley, for the question. I appreciate it. Cameron, you're up.
Okay. Ashley asked another question. She asked me if I have ever played dodgeball and if I'm any good at it. The short answer is no and no. I did not play dodgeball. Much to the chagrin of my classmates, I did not play dodgeball because I think as soon as they yelled go, about 10 rubber balls would have gone towards me and I just would have been absolutely pulverized because I would have been an easy out. I was telling Dad before we started recording that if they had blind dodgeball, everybody would have to be wearing bells. Would someone put a freaking bell on him or
Somebody
something?
put a freaking bell on him.
Everybody be wearing bells, and all the dodgeballs would be beeper balls, and that might get a little confusing. That as soon as you heard the beep get close to you, it's time to move out the way.
It's time to dive, dip, duck, or dodge.
Yeah, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. An honorable mention. Ashley also made another comment. She brought up a sports TV show. It is not a movie. It is a TV show, and it is called Heated Rivals. It is a show about hockey, and it is an adult sports show with the emphasis on adult, and that's all we're going to say. Chip off the old black does not endorse Heated Rivalry.
We don't want to talk about it.
Look, yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Look it up at your own risk.
Okay. And the last question from Big Al, and this is something that's going on right now. I did Google to get some facts. I have seen quite a bit of coverage about it. There's a kid plays quarterback for Texas Tech named Brendan Sorsby. Brendan Sorsby has been not only accused of, but confessed to placing almost 3,000 bets to the tune of almost $60,000 on football games while he has been an active player. So he is now the Pete Rose of college football. The NCAA, of course, ruled almost immediately, hey, you're done. That's a big time violation. You're done. And as is the case with NIL and the new college football, either he or Texas Tech University or both hired a paid him a high-powered attorney to file an injunction against the NCAA. So what they have said is, hey, you can't do that. You're depriving him of his right to play. And I think he has to sit out. I think he has to sit out 2 games. He may not even have to sit out that. But here's the here's the interesting. Now the NCAA isn't letting it go. They had to set a court date to fight the injunction. I'm not sure when the court date is, but the interesting fallout from it is, of course, Texas Tech is in the Big 12, and not only have several SEC teams stated that they will not, under any circumstances, play against Texas Tech University. The Big 12, almost all, I think all of the member teams are trying to get an agreement that they will remove Texas Tech from their schedule this year, that they won't play them. I mean, I don't know how that works, but
is Texas Tech just going to play with themselves?
Yeah, they're just going to play with themselves. I don't know how that works. I'm assuming that these schools that are making this statement on principle would have to forfeit, take a loss if they have Texas Tech on the schedule and they refuse to play them. I mean, frankly, when you look at Texas Tech football schedule next year, pretty much every game anyway is a forfeit. I mean, their schedule is ridiculously easy. And on top of that, now a lot of the Big 12 teams are saying, hey, we're not going to play them. And it's really a big deal. And what amazes me about it, and if I didn't mention already, Big Al asked this question. One thing that amazes me about it, and it says something about the character of Texas Tech University. I know that they feel like they need to protect their athlete. I understand that. But, his integrity is shot. And Texas Tech is damaging their own integrity, in this reporter's opinion, by not just saying, hey, we're going to suspend him from the team. Of course, they paid him a ton of money, I'm sure. And if they kick him off the team, they're not going to get that money back. And then on top of that, the guy ain't that good. I mean, that's the amazing thing. He's not a Heisman Trophy finalist. He's a good quarterback, but he's not some jaw-dropping guy that's put up incredible stats. But Texas Tech so far is standing behind him, and it's just a wild thing. I don't know how it's going to turn out. We'll just have to wait and see. So, Big Al, that's what I know about it. I hope that answers your question. And, buddy, with that, I think we've answered 3. That's all we're going to answer is 3 of them.
We have answered 3. Now, I was going to ask you,
okay,
we got a lot of, we didn't talk about this during our pregame. I just thought of it. We got a lot of responses from people about our sports movies. Are we going to, I don't even know if we could list off all of them. Some people named a lot. But are we going to give any honorable mentions to some of the movies that got mentioned in the comments?
Well, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what all movies got. There were several different ones.
I know
just
mom.
Off the top of my head. Just off the top of my head.
Mom mentioned Eddie the Eagle, which I know mom loves Eddie the Eagle, but I think the fact that Hugh Jackman is in it doesn't hurt nothing.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt anything, and he has one of the coolest Hugh Jackman scenes ever in any movie, frankly, in Eddie the Eagle. But that's not truly why Eddie the Eagle is just really. It's just a typical great sports story, perseverance and triumph against the odds. That's Eddie the Eagle, and of course, it's based on a true story. I'm sure everybody knew that. But Eddie the Eagle was brought up. League of Their Own was brought up.
Big Al, you know what? I was going to comment on A League of Their Own. A League of Their Own was brought up by a friend of mine, and she said in her comment that she's drawn to it because she's a woman and it's about women. I am not a woman when last I checked, and I love A League of Their Own. I think it's great. Gina Davis and Tom Hanks, and of course my favorite line in it, your favorite line in it. Everyone knows the line, "Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball." That's Tom Hanks, but my favorite line is John Lovitz when he says, "If I had your job, I'd kill myself."
I forgot about that one. Yes, if I had your job, I'd kill myself. Uh, yeah, but League of Their Own was brought up. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Big
Leave it to
Al. I
Big
knew
Al
he would
to
throw a
bring up the
NASCAR
only
movie out. Uh,
yeah.
Days
Leave it
of
to Big
Thunder.
Al to put in the only NASCAR movie in existence other than Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. That was brought up. Uh, you know, I don't know if I can check right now, but
Maybe you can.
we did get a lot of interaction on it. A lot of people put some different movie titles, and the point being, we just wanted to hear what your favorite sports movies were and why, and we got some excellent responses and some excellent reasons why. And if people got emotional about them, we got some of that too. It's not about, hey, tell us a movie and then we're going to rip it up or tell you why we don't like it. It doesn't matter what we like. The question wasn't what are our favorites or what were your favorites. And we appreciate everybody that left comments. That
We
makes
absolutely do. And
that makes doing this show a lot more enjoyable when we get some folks that want to interact with us, talk to us, leave some comments, even if you want to argue with us, even if you're somebody out there that thinks golf's a sport. If you think golf's a sport, tell me why. Put it right down there in the comments.
Yep.
When
Post
you
it
do
in the
what,
comments.
Cameron? We've forgotten to ask the most important question.
Oh no, I was going to say it. Post it in the comments, and while you're at it, you should like and subscribe to this video because if you don't subscribe to this or subscribe to this channel, I mean, and if you don't subscribe to this channel, it's because you hate blind people.
That's it. That can be the only reason. Or old people.
I can't think of any other reason.
Blind or old people. Let's cover all the bases. Blind or old
old
people.
blind people.
Yeah, or old blind people. One of the three.
Maybe or maybe you don't subscribe because there's too much sports in our sports show.
Yeah, there may be too much sports in our sports show, I guess. Okay, bud. Is that all you got for tonight?
That's all I got, Dad. Is that all you got?
That's all I got. Okay.
That's all
we got.
Like
and subscribe and leave your answers to our movie quote challenge down there. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week. I think that's all I've got.
And ask us questions. And if you don't, we're going to talk about
We're going to talk about sports. If you don't ask us questions, we're talking about sports. Okay, bud.
You've been warned.
You have been warned. We will talk to you next week, buddy.
All right, Dad. Talk to you next week.
Okay, love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.